How you feeling?
25 sitting on 25 mil.
I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up. Meet me at the spot.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Nat.
It's Nia, and welcome back to Full Figured.
I'm gonna go out and say I am not gonna make promises anymore. I am not going to make promises about being better. I'm not going to make promises about being back. I'm not making any more promises. So we hope to get back to regular, but I'm not going to say anything else about that. So we're just riding the waves of life, and I think that's all we can do.
Yeah.
How about you, Nia? What's up?
Oh
What's
my
good, girl?
gosh.
I haven't seen Nia since her birthday, and which was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But before that, I have not seen her since we last recorded. So we have a lot to catch up on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like me anymore. She don't be texting me and telling me things no more. So
It's been a crazy ride since March.
yeah.
So we'll be catching up in real time today.
Yeah.
It's it has been a bumpy ride since the last time we've talked.
It has.
Yeah.
This is gonna be like a literal us catching each other up as well as y'all on our lives. So I don't know, I'm a little nervy about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the first episode all over again.
Exactly.
This has been our longest hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
And I got people asking me, like, when are we going to have another episode? When are we going to do it again? So here we are, and here's your episode.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into it.
So first off,
she was ready. She was like, Natalie, shut the fuck up so I could start talking.
First off, neither of us are drinking.
Yeah.
I decided to take a long hiatus from drinking since my birthday. So I decided to have a lot of my worlds come all together in one place for my birthday. So I hosted about like 30 people at the rooftop where I now work again. And we had a time, and I don't know why people kept buying me tequila shots, and I kept no tally, so I have no idea how many I took that night. But it did not end well. I did not make it to my after party. And I spent the night throwing up and dry heaving, and I spent the next day in bed, and it was not a good time. And yeah, I had some complications, and so I decided to take a good long break from drinking. That's the reason why I'm not drinking. Why are you not drinking?
So I started a new job. We'll get into that later, but I don't really drink on the weekdays anymore. I'll drink on the weekends, but baby girl doesn't know when to stop when she starts. Like, it's not that I'm drinking heavily every day all the time. It's that when I do drink, it's like no end in sight, and I act like an asshole. Like, I hate waking up with the anxiety of what the fuck did I do? And it's not even that I blacked out. It's just like me thinking, and the anxiety for me is the worst part of a hangover.
Yeah.
It like that makes me ill. Thinking everyone's mad at me, thinking everyone, like, so I don't know. I also have been like having a little bit of health problems here and there. And I just wanted to see if taking a longer time from drinking would make me feel better about everything, would make me feel better about myself. And I haven't drank. I mean, I'm acting like I haven't drank in like 6 months. I haven't drank in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I think August 3rd was the last day.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel so much better, so much rejuvenated.
Yeah.
All of those things. But I think I don't know. I wanted to test to see if I can have fun without drinking. Mm-hmm. And so far I have. Like, I went to her birthday, wasn't drinking. I had a great time, like catching up with everybody, seeing Nia, like, and you were busy, so I didn't want to bother you and stuff, but it was fun not doing that, fun being able to know, like, I can get myself home without worrying. Like, I've still been smoking and shit and, like, taking a lot of edibles, but I don't know. I still am having fun. I'm still having a good time. Went out last weekend, didn't drink, had a good time. Like, I don't know. That's it. That's my only reason. That's my long-winded ass reason.
That's okay too. Yeah, I've realized that with a lot of late night activities, a lot of it requires drinking
so much,
and that's the unfortunate part. But it's nice when you can find something that is a late night activity that doesn't require drinking, which is why I enjoy line dancing so much. When I go line dancing, it's now become a hobby to where when I go, I don't feel the need to drink. Yeah, because when you're drinking and you're doing all that dance, when you start drinking, you start getting sloppy, you start feeling the alcohol because you're moving so much, and it just doesn't become as enjoyable. But when I go and I start taking it a little bit seriously, which I have recently, it's just been a lot of fun. So I totally understand why you're doing what you're doing, because there's ways to have fun without it involving alcohol.
Yeah. No, there really is. It's so true. And yeah, thank you for understanding, because I think it's hard for some people to understand.
No, yeah, I get it.
But it's like you feel like a better person. I don't know. And then, like, but listen, I'm craving like an espresso martini like so bad. And like, I don't know why I was talking about it with my dad. I want wine and only wine. And I'm not even like that big of a wine drinker, but I was like, I would kill somebody for a nice crispy Riesling, a nice, but it's neither here nor there. I don't even want to talk about it. I sound like I'm a recovering alcoholic. But yeah, so Nia had just mentioned that she's back at the hotel that we both worked at. So I really want to get into that. Yeah. What made you quit the other place? What made you go back to our place?
Yeah, so where I was working, the steakhouse, it was very physically taxing. There was a lot of prep that we were having to do, the batching, the cutting of the fruit, the labeling, the lifting, the stocking, all of that I was doing. It takes such a toll on, it takes such a toll on you physically, and you're doing all that for such a little payout. Most places unfortunately still do the server minimum wage, the $2.13 in Nashville, which I still think is very ludicrous for places to still be doing. But doing the amount of work that I was doing for that little payout, and then busting my ass all night, 200 to 400 covers on the weekend, and splitting that 4 ways between all the bartenders, and then learning that you did all that for only $250 is wild.
You're lying.
Yeah, that's how
I thought the tips were really good.
So did I. I mean, I was sort of promised when I got there that the tips were going to be, wild every night. It wasn't. My paychecks were so low, and unfortunately the tax bracket that I was in last year, I'm not even coming close to, because I left for 3 months. And so because I was just so fatigued, I reached out to our old manager at the hotel, and I was like, I don't know what I have to do to come back, but I need to come back. And we set up a meeting, and they gave me my job back over there at the hotel. And so I've been there ever since. And, there's something about this year, and I know it's not just us, but, something about the tourism in Nashville has been down
Died.
significantly.
I've heard that too.
It's awful. And
even on Broadway.
On Broadway too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tourism is down. No one is making money right now. And, I thought it was just us, but it isn't. But the amount that I was making at the steakhouse, I was like, I'm willing to make that at the hotel if I'm doing not as much work. And the work is being split between multiple other bodies. And that's where I'm at right now. It's not as physically taxing at the hotel. The work is being split. I'm not having to do all the batching. I'm not having to do all the labeling. I don't have to do the stocking.
Mm-hmm.
That's on someone else. And it's just a lot easier, which is nice. So yeah, I decided that the steakhouse, I'm like, it's nice to have that experience under my belt. It was nice to be able to experience that and do like the high volume nights. And it was a fun job. It was fun working with our friend Corrales again. It was nice working with him. And, we just have like a very, we mesh very well together when we work. We're both very fast paced, and it was nice to do that with him again. But I was like, this just isn't for me.
Yeah.
And the biggest reason why I wanted to go back, other than, I can't finance the way that I live, they completely took away my creative ability when it came to making cocktails. The steakhouse is very on the book. They have to stick to whatever it says in the ingredients and on the menu. You cannot go off book at all. And say their old fashioned is made with Woodford. You have to use 2 ounces of Woodford in their old fashioned. And if you run out of Woodford, you can't use anything else, because that's not what it calls for.
So you're just out of old fashions?
Out of the, yeah.
What if someone orders an old fashioned with like Eagle Rare or something?
You can do that. So you can ring up an old Eagle Rare old fashioned, but the one that's on the menu, we're not going to be able to make because we don't have Woodford. And it's the same with all the other cocktails. So say their old fashioned called for a Milagro, and I ran out of Milagro, and I have something else in my well, because everything is taken into inventory. I can't go off of that list. So I would have to tell the server, you have to re-ring this as a, Vulcan, Blanco, tequila, margarita. But it was, it just got to the point where they brought in a bar trainer to watch us sit there and make the drinks and watch our specs and watch how we garnish the cocktail. And he sat there for a good 2.5 weeks on the end of our bar and just watched us make drinks. And I'm like, I can't do that. No, like, I'm not going to sit here and be policed as I'm making the drinks because you think that I'm not making these drinks correctly. No, I was like, no, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
And so, completely taking away my creative ability and, sticking to the book, it's not for me. It's for somebody, but it wasn't for me. So the creative aspect is one of the best things that I cherish about where I'm at right now, because we're constantly making new drinks on the menu. I'm constantly challenged at this job when it comes to, people coming in and they want certain things in their cocktails, and I get to do that where I'm at right now. But at the steakhouse, you can't do that.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I left, and I was graciously offered my job back, and yeah, we'll see how long I last this time.
Well, before that, you were what, 2 years in?
Yeah, now I'm 3. I said I'm just taking a 3-month sabbatical. That's it.
Okay.
I needed time to breathe because the reason why I left the hotel initially was because I couldn't take it anymore.
Mhm.
Like, there were just so many things about the hotel that I could not believe. And, you know, my job was threatened. And I think if I had stayed, I probably would have lost my job because I was close to snapping.
Yeah. I remember the last day I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it anymore. And I thought the best thing for me was to just take a break from all of it. And honestly, even though it didn't benefit me financially, it benefited me emotionally, and it benefited me not physically, because that job took a toll on me. My back was broken every night.
Dude, yeah.
So at this steakhouse, have I talked to you about this? At the liquor closet?
No.
Girl. So the bar, we had the bar top, and then we had the bar in the background. That's where all the liquor was up on
Okay.
So under the bar, there was a little hole, a little crawl space, and you had to crawl under the bar in the crawl space to get to the liquor closet every time you needed something. There's no door. There's no gate.
Why? They do that for security?
I don't know why they did it. So apparently that's where the kitchen used to be. And so
You had to crawl to get to the kitchen?
No.
Oh.
Like can you imagine? You're just like holding trays.
What
and
if
you have
there's
to,
a fire and you have to crawl out of the fire?
Then well, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. You have to crawl under the bar to get into the liquor closet every single time you needed something.
If that used to be a kitchen, where's the door?
They built a wall to where the kitchen used to be, and they moved the kitchen, but they forgot to put in a door. So they had a little hole knocked out to get to the closet.
I have so many questions. So when liquor orders come in,
oh, that was great.
so you
Mhm.
have to one by one. What is one person at the end of the tunnel and the other one's sliding booze down the tunnel?
No, you have to take the box and like heave it through the little hole, and you have like boxes stacked up there, and the space is small. It's a really small space.
I
in
have
the liquor closet.
claustrophobia.
Oh, you would hate it then. You would hate it. But yeah, when you got like your orders, you would have to load them behind the bar, and then you would have to crawl them under the crawl space to get to the liquor closet.
No, thank you. So then what if there's a fire?
Oh, well.
You gonna die?
They'll hold you a nice vigil.
But I'm sorry, but is that up to code?
I guess no one said anything about it. It's not like I don't know, bro. It's a liquor closet without a door. It's a crawl space.
What if I'm feeling a little hefty that day and I can't fit?
Oh, well, you suck it in and squeeze your way through.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
So do you guys keep extras out?
Yeah, so we would have like our little spaces under the bar. But still, if you run out of something, you have to heave your way back through that hole.
Hold on. I gotta go crawl for your bottle that you want.
Yeah.
No.
That's how bad it was. It was awful. I'm like, I can't do this all the time. They were like, oh, we ran out of Jack. I'm like, and then you just see me crawling under the space to get back there.
Did you guys play nose goes?
No. It's whoever's closest.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You guys don't take turns?
No.
I cannot picture Corrales' ass crawling.
Oh, he does it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish you could slide. Are there pads in there for your knees?
No. Oh, and don't let you break a glass down there either.
Have you?
Yeah.
How do you break a glass down there? You're bartending down there?
No.
Hey, I just need a minute. I'm feeling a little shy. I'm feeling a little timid. I'm going to make your drink in the crawl. I'm going to crawl and make your drink. Neil's like this. Hopping on
the little hole. Yeah.
The little vibration.
Oh my gosh. So say like a glass falls and then it just breaks and the little pieces shatter near the crawl space.
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
You got to try to sweep it up as fast as possible because if you need a bottle, then you're just crawling over glass.
No.
I still can't believe that was like that. Like, really? The liquor closet is in a crawl space? I'm like, I see why y'all have a high turnover rate for all these female bartenders because none of us are going to do it.
Wild behavior.
And
I'm already fucking sweating.
And yeah, it was all those orders and, you know, I'm used to putting away like beer orders and all of that.
Sure.
But the batching, the amount that we had to batch every week was crazy because, you know, we're doing 200, 300, 400 covers a night and we're having to batch like crazy. And so they usually had me scheduled on Thursdays. And so I'm spending the entire shift just batching. And it's just so much work that goes into that. Oh, and there's no space in the kitchen for you to batch. So you're in everyone's way when you're trying to batch because you're over by like the little tea station where they have like the tea and the coffee and there's like this little table, but there's a whole bunch of stuff on the table. So you kind of have to like squeeze to like put everything. There was no space to do anything.
So we ain't making our, this is how it feels to drive a Ford 150 eggnog back there?
No.
Okay.
No, there's no space to do that.
Gotcha.
I'm like, I could go over there in the pastry station and squeeze with them. There might be some room back there.
I could go outside.
In the parking garage and you're just like mixing eggnog. And
We've talked about this, right? Do you guys remember us making eggnog? It feels like driving a F-150.
Because we have these like giant hand mixers at the hotel. Like literally they're like this big and you're just standing
You
there.
could stand it up and it'll be up to my
just
hip.
like mixing it like this.
You gotta like really get in there on that bitch and like hold it down with a foot and then hold yourself on the table.
Yeah.
And then you get the thing. This looks so bad. And you're just like pilgriming this fucking hand mixer. I guess you're not pilgriming because you're not doing it yourself, but the force on that thing.
Oh yeah.
It was like, whoo-wee.
Yeah, so
It was rough.
There was no room to do any batching. There still is no room, even though I'm not there, to do anything. And it was just so much work that we're having to do. And I'm like, I'm not making a lot of money tonight, and I'm only making $2 an hour. So I'm doing all this for like $100 tonight.
That's fucking wild. I remember when I spoke to Corrales about money there, and he was like, "You make so much money there." Wild.
Well, Corrales has like a high clientele, you know, like he knows how to network and how to bring people into the bar. Like I highly respect the way that he grinds.
Sure.
Mine is more just like, oh, you're here in the bar? Okay, well, I'm going to give you the experience of a lifetime. I know what I'm doing. Thank you for the tip. But he's like, boom, like, I'm going to bring you back in here. I'm doing this, da-da-da-da-da. And like, I love that for him. Like,
it could never be me. I think about it all the time. And the amount of times I got good reviews, I just don't understand how.
Yeah.
Because people think I'm like being sarcastic and joking, but I was so serious about hating all of you. Like, I was so serious. And I think back and I'm like, yeah, I was nice some days, but most days I wasn't.
And that's okay.
I don't know if that's okay.
As long as you're getting good reviews, who cares? That's all that matters. As long as you're getting good reviews for the hotel.
I was making my friends write those reviews.
As you should. I should do that same thing.
I wanted that $25 gift card to Walmart.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then the hotel took you back with open arms.
Mm-hmm. They sure did. And
how was your transition?
It was easy. It literally felt like I just took a break. It didn't feel, in any way, shape, or form like foreign. So, yeah, it was a super easy transition. And I felt back at home. It was cool to be back with everyone again.
Did everyone welcome you back, like bartender wise?
Yeah. There were some people that were skeptical at first, like, oh, like, why are you bringing it back? But
Who? I'm just kidding. We'll talk later. I'm such a bitch. I just want the tea so bad.
It's all about not burning bridges when you leave. If you go out with like flames ablaze and, you know, you're like, F this and F this person and y'all screwed me over, then you are completely burning bridges.
Right.
And no one's going to take you back if you're like ever in need. And I feel like if I hadn't left the hotel when I did, I 100% would have left like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was in my benefit that I did not do that. So I've grown a lot since I left the hotel and took a lot of time to reflect. And I came back, you know, a lot better. And I came back happier too, because like I said, like me taking a break from the hotel, it benefited me emotionally because I would spend a lot more time. I would have some more off days. And so if I had a Thursday off, I would go line dancing. And that's where I met Trenton. And
Nia has a boyfriend.
Yeah, I met him.
His name's Trenton.
His name is Trenton. And
he's an angel.
He's
an angel.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. And he's brought out such a emotional, vulnerable side of me that I didn't realize I had. Like, I don't really like to express emotions towards people. It's like, you know, it's there. If you know that when the mannerisms that I have, you know that I care and that I love very hard. But he's bringing out this weird emotional side of me that I've never experienced. And it's just like very foreign to me. And I'm like, what in the fuck are you doing to me? So yeah, if I had not left the hotel, I wouldn't have met him. And it's like, it really shows in your work day when you're happy, you know?
Oh yeah.
You enjoy.
You move different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like guests don't annoy you as much as they did when
a simple question doesn't make you want to gouge their eyes out.
You see people come in smiling and you're like, oh, like, what the fuck are you happy about? There's nothing to be happy about. And now it's like when they come in, you're like, okay, like, I can tolerate you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it really is. And your happiness in your personal life really does show in your work life. So that's something I learned, which is crazy. So props to Trenton for doing that.
Thank you, Trenton.
Yeah. Wild. Yeah, so enough about me. What's up with you? She's gone from the bar.
Yeah,
industry.
Did we talk about that? No. Yeah. So one of the reasons of our hiatus is because Nia and I don't work the same schedules.
Mm-hmm.
So I work your typical 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. I have holidays. It's an office job in front of a computer. Saturday, Sundays off. I am miserable. I hate it. I hate not being busy.
Oh yeah.
I hate not being busy. There's days that are busier than others. There's days where I am getting physical labor, like clearing out storage, clearing out like whatever, but it's a lot. And I don't love being micromanaged. And I mean, we talked about being micromanaged at a bar, but like truly like not trusted behind a computer is wild to me. Yeah. And with my job, I'm the director of tourism sales, and I'm in charge of bringing groups, conventions, weddings, reunions, small conference meetings essentially into Clarksville where I live to help the economy, to have people we're funded by hotel tax. So to have people stay in hotels, that tax funds my company, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done this before. I've done it in North Carolina and I did it in Anchorage, Alaska. It is so different at this one. We used to be our own entity from the city,
Mm-hmm.
but now we work with like the Economic Development Council. We work with the Chamber of Commerce. We work with the industrial board. Like, so there's a lot of people that we mingle with.
Mm-hmm.
So we have shared staff. And that's something that I'm not used to. Like, I'm used to having my boss, the CEO of our company, but the CEO of this particular one oversees everybody.
Okay.
So it's just a very different dynamic. HR, you know, like I report to my boss who I have known. We've been friends. Like I worked for her in North Carolina. She just happened to move here. We get along. We really know how to separate friendship and professionalism. That has been great. But we have an episode about HR. You can literally go reference it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the same thing.
Yeah.
You cannot trust HR. And it's like to the point where it had become like, because of the nature of my job, yes, I'm supposed to be in the office, but I'm supposed to also be out in the community making partnerships with venues so that I can get them business. Like they know me, talking to hotels. Like these are the peoples that I am working with and that I am responsible of making partnerships with. And every day, if you have to have everything on your calendar. You have to have everything on your calendar. Like everyone is always checking your calendar.
Mm.
Like, so if you miss a beat on Outlook, you better go on there and you better fix it.
Mm.
And it's come to the point where it's like they walk around the office to see if you're not there. And they're going in and asking, where's Natalie? Where's Natalie? Where's Natalie? And it's like doing my job.
Yeah.
Like in the community. And it's like, I'm not a schoolgirl anymore. Like I'm not going to school. I don't need the bathroom pass, like to go out in the hallway. Like, and then there were cases of, oh, we've noticed Natalie has been getting up and going to fill her water bottle a lot. What's up with that? I'm like, so these people line productivity with sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of like, I don't know, science. That's like not good for your brain. That's not good for your body. So there's aspects like it was a huge transition from going to working your ass off, physical labor, being on your feet to sitting in front of a computer at the office. Yeah. And it just kind of feels like this sounds so dumb, but I feel like I got stupider. Like, I think it's just not having like that movement or that quick pace thinking. Like now I feel in a way that I am so putting stuff off all the time. Like I know what I'm doing, but I feel almost lazier and I hate having that. Like I wish I could work from home so that I could do things around the house, have that burst of productivity and then go on the computer and knock stuff out. But now I'm just like putting things off. Like I can do this instead. Like I take the easy route where with bartending, you can't. Mm-hmm. You have to do anything to make people happy. Like you are working for your money. Mm-hmm. And right now I just feel in this limbo where I'm like wasting away. I feel like I'm in a therapy session right now. I'm really sorry, but it's very different. And I've really had to prioritize my health because I noticed that I was miserable. Like you get up, you do what you need to do, you go to work, you come back home. I get up at 5 a.m. to work out. So I go home, have like a nice 2-hour window, and then I'm getting ready for bed. Mm-hmm. And it's like the one thing that I will say, I enjoy getting to spend time with my husband, having dinner at home, being able to come home and walk the dogs in the evening, like things like that I do enjoy. But I really miss the freedom of having certain days off to do your errands, being able to, if you just wake up that extra hour for bartending, like you'll be able to do this, do that. Like I felt like I always complained about not having time bartending, but I felt like I had more time then. And that's a really crazy concept to grasp because I was driving an hour and a half every day to get to work. More, sometimes on the scale of 2 hours. If the commute wasn't there, I would be at our hotel. Like if the commute was, that was the driving factor for me. And I didn't love the way things were going at the hotel back then, but I miss it. That was the first place where I truly felt comfortable with every coworker we had. I know that I bitched about some and stuff, but you really are. I hate saying that work people are your family because I've always not believed that, but it took me working at the hotel to believe that. Right. And leaving made me truly believe that. And how I was welcomed back the night of your party, I was a little nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't leave on bad terms with anybody. Exactly. It was very amicable. It was very good. But there's still that nervousness of feeling like you don't fit. And I went right back and integrated right in, like same conversations, same tea being spilled, like different tea about different people, but tea being spilled. It was like the trust never left. And I know the trust never left for me. I mean, I'm in a totally different environment. I don't see the people that we talk about or hang out with anymore. But when I do, it was like we didn't even skip a beat. So it's hard. It's hard. I think that I was using a lot more creativity when I was bartending. And I also thought that moving away from the job taught me a lot more about myself that I didn't know. And it like kind of same with what you said. I relate to you reflecting. I've been reflecting a lot. And I am always trying to look for the next best thing, but sometimes you just have to really slow down, breathe, and say, I think this is the best thing I'm doing for myself at this moment. And if something else comes up, like I was searching so hard for something else, and I'm like, what have I done? Like in the end, did it help me with other things with, yes, it did. But there's more security financially, like in an office job. Like you're making the same paycheck over and over. It's easier to budget. It's easier to get into a routine because everything's set in time. Exactly. With the ever-changing schedule of bartending, it's hard to, what am I going to do today? What do I have time for today? Like, like every day kind of came as it did. But that's what kind of made it fun too, because you just don't know what you're going to do. Like you could just go off on a limb and do whatever. Yeah. It's different. I feel like I sold my soul. I think my next move is trying to work from home and taking care of the things I can so that I feel like I'm doing productive things in both my personal life and my work life. Like there needs to be a better balance, and I have trouble in my whole life with everything, finding the perfect balance. And so that's my next project, I guess, for myself. But other than that, things have been how they've been. I've been going to CrossFit. I love my CrossFit people. I love my gym. I love, that has been like my biggest outlet. I think like a lifesaver for me. I've been picking up walking again. Like I got into a really bad shell of just like not doing the things I love to do and really like not self-caring. And so I've been really focused on self-care and doing things that like make my heart happy despite everybody else. So I'm on a journey. I'm kind of nervous. That used to be my Instagram bio. I'm just trying, okay? We're just trying. So, like, I was talking to our friend, and she was like, listen, it's rough at the hotel right now, but like, if you want to come back for pop-up, like, we welcome you back. And I thought of it, but then there's also that side of me that's like, I can't take away from everybody there right now. You know what I mean? Like, you know how I am, and you know my guilty conscience. Like, I don't want people to be like, she's only coming back because this is the time of the season that pops off. It wouldn't be like that for me, but I just don't feel comfortable doing it. And I do not miss the physical pain.
Yeah.
Like, coming back and driving for, like, I think it would be better if I lived closer. Like, I could, like, I would move better, but you're, like, on your feet, you're aching, you're, you know, whatever. And then you have to make yourself get a second wind to drive for 45 minutes at 2 a.m, 1 a.m, midnight. And you're, like, throbbing in pain. And now your body went from moving to staying in, like, this position. It's just, that's one thing that I don't miss. It's really at this point weighing pros and cons.
Yeah, I understand. And trust me, I did that drive today, and I'm like, I don't know how she did this every single shift. Because if that road gets full of traffic, girl, I don't know how you're doing it.
When we left your party, like, so Nia didn't make it to her after party. It's okay. No. It was her birthday. I fucked up the year before. It's okay. So I went to the after party, and I had 2 friends with me that came from Clarksville, like 2, because they wanted to go to Nashville, whatever. So we went, and we were driving back, and right before, for context, I would get off exit 8 to get to my house. Right before exit 11, standstill traffic at 1 a.m. Okay, on a Sunday.
That's crazy.
So I said, fuck this. So we're standing in this for 30 minutes. Then I notice all the cars behind me. There's like the guardrail, right? All the cars behind me are driving before the guardrail starts, driving through the middle where the grass is to cut to the other side of the highway to get off that exit, like the next one, 19. And I backed my ass out, and I went. And I was like, this is brutal. Like, I was like, imagine I just worked for 8 hours and sat in that. And that was my reality. That happened to me sometimes. Like, or I'd get cut early, and I'm sitting in traffic for an hour and a half. And I'm like, this is fucking miserable. So that's something that I don't miss.
Yeah.
The 12-minute commute ain't bad.
Yeah, I bet.
But you have a kind of crazy commute to work too.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Yeah. I think it's more predictable, the traffic, right?
Yeah. So with where I live, I can either take 65 or I can take 24 or I can just cut it straight down Nolensville. So I have 3 different ways that I can get to work depending on what traffic looks like.
Right.
But I know that if I take 65, I know exactly when traffic's going to pick up. I can maneuver around it. So my drive is usually between 25 and 30 minutes. Now, if I were to move back to Murfreesboro, which is something that we're talking about, that drive will be the exact same drive that it is for you as it would be for me. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do, because ultimately what I want to do in the next 5 years is be able to start my own cocktail bar. That's where I'm at right now. That's kind of where I'm trying to head for. And
in Nashville?
In Murfreesboro. Like, I would start my own cocktail bar in Murfreesboro. I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about that. I'm trying to figure out the business strategy about doing it, trying to find investors. I need to start networking so that I can be able to leave the hotel so that I can start my own business. I'm just trying to figure out how to get to that point. And I wanted to have enough money saved up so that I can, when it hits like January and February, which is supposed to be our slow season, I can ride out the money that I've been saving until I figure out a good stopping place to be able to quit the hotel and then be able to start my business.
Sure.
So if I were to move to Murfreesboro, I'd have to do that exact same commute as you. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do.
It's hard. I would say when we were popping, it was obviously worth it.
Yeah, of
Everything made it worth it. I would say in the beginning, you are in a state of convincing yourself it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't be for the beginning. And then because I think you're still running off of the adrenaline and the high of I'm moving to a new place, I'm starting something new, I'm doing ABCXYZ, it's worth it, it's this and that. Like I remember not this past winter, but the winter before of 2022, when everyone was sick, there was that 14-day span where I worked straight through, like, and they did not care. I was picking up, whatever. It became, I got so used to it that I was like, this ain't a thing, you know? But then when it came to having a day off and then you have 2 days off in a row, you're like, do I really have to go back to work? Like, do I really have to do this commute again? That's where it gets hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, now I have to go back to work again, listening to the same podcast over and over or the same playlist. It just becomes like Groundhog Day every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say it's worth a try for sure for a little while, but then it's going to get to where you start resenting your job because of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And again, if you're making money, if you're hitting those times where you're not driving in traffic, beautiful,
right.
Gorgeous behavior.
Yeah, but that commute between Murfreesboro and Nashville, there are so many opportunities that you will hit traffic.
Yeah, I believe it's worse than this one.
Mm-hmm. So it's something that I'm trying to figure out, and eventually I'll get to the point where it's like I won't have to rely on the hotel and I'll be able to start my business. But till then, I just got to figure out my game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
because Murfreesboro is a bigger city than Clarksville, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so your traffic would be worse because you have more corporate people going in and out of offices. You have more shit like that. Yeah. It's probably distance-wise not as spread out from Nashville, like where this is a true 45 miles, 50 miles from Nashville. Yours might be 35, but the traffic is that much worse.
Yep.
That makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. But I got enough time to figure it out.
Yeah.
What I want to do. So
you'll figure it out.
Yeah. How you feeling?
25 sitting on 25 mil. So that was our catch up. We're going to go on to regularly scheduled programming. We're going to talk about all different things. I'm going to put my bartender hat back on, but I will put in a little bit of some office shit in there too, I guess. Mm-hmm. But Nia, how do you feel? Is there anything else you want to say with this episode?
No, I'm feeling good. I'm glad we got the chance to catch up. I feel like it was an episode for y'all, just so we can get our face out there.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, in the next episode, we're going to get back to our regular topics again. We're just going to tie it all up and then, deliver it in a nice package. So,
yeah. And we thank you. We thank you for asking us when we're coming back. I thank my Connecticut peeps too. We texted me and they're like, yo, we're dying for another episode. So I appreciate all of you for listening and wondering where we are, because that makes me feel good. It makes me feel validated. It makes me feel funny as fuck and that you guys missed us. So I want to say we appreciate it so much. And we hope that we didn't disappoint you, but life happens. There's so many ebbs and flows,
Yeah, that's all right. We're going to try to take it one day at a time. Like you said, we're not making any more promises.
No more promises. There ain't no more fucking promises.
I promise I'll change. I promise I'll do better.
Yeah, I was gonna say third time's a charm, but I ain't doing all that.
Mhm.
There's no fucking way on this screener I'm doing that. There ain't no way. But yeah, so we'll catch you on the next one, we hope. Episode 16.
Is it 16 or 17?
It says 16.
Oh, shoot.
Damn. Yeah, episode 16, I hope. 16, maybe 16.5.
Yeah.
But we love y'all. We thank you for being here. We cannot wait to keep doing this.
Mhm. So if you're trying to find our podcast, our previous episodes, you can find us on YouTube. You can stream us on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and
Apple, right?
Apple.
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts.
Damn. Yeah.
And then you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at Full Figured Official.
Is Twitter still Twitter?
X. X.
I don't have Twitter. I don't have X.
X.
We're on X. Thanks, guys. We love you.
We'll see you in the next
Artless Ike.